Hi! So today I'm going to do a reading, tarot reading and oracle card reading. We're going to answer the question, why are you so drawn to this person and do they feel the same about you? So it's going to be very free-flowing, sort of love reading, and I'm just going to channel and we'll see what comes through. So I'm going to be drawing all of the cards live, so I'll just have 3 crystals for you to choose from to start off with, and then I'm just going to jump straight in to the reading. So group number 1 will be this one, the smoky quartz. Group number 2 will be the amethyst, and group number 3 will be the citrine crystal. So we have group 1, group 2, and group 3. Alright, so group 1, let's go. Alright, so I'm going to start with some oracle cards, and I don't know why, so we'll just see why. So basically, what are we answering? Why are you so drawn to this person? Okay, so we got resurfacing of past feelings and emotions, so I'm guessing, and remembrance, so I'm guessing this is someone who you've been with already, or there's a lot of love between you guys, or a lot of attraction, a lot of excitement, and definitely a lot of mystery still. So maybe you don't understand what's going on for them, or they don't understand what's going on for you. I'm just gonna move closer because sometimes the audio is not very good. Also, sorry about that really loud chair that I have. Alright, so yeah, I think the reason you're so drawn to them is because there are feelings coming up for you that are from your past, and this is, still the way that you feel about them. You still really feel for them, and maybe there was a time I'm picking up where you thought maybe you could get over them, or you guys broke up or were in separation for a while, so you kind of started to picture a life without this person and really consider what it would mean for you to move on, and to move on perhaps even with another person that you were interested in, and yet there was something blocking you from really moving forward and really getting over this person. And the reason is, I think there's still more to learn. Yeah, I just saw an orb of purple light, so yes, there's still more to learn with this person, which is why you feel like you can't get away from them. And, whenever I say that there's more to learn, I don't necessarily mean that means, oh yeah, you're going to be with them forever and ever. It's simply that, when we have a soul connection with someone, often there's something called a soul contract involved. And within a soul contract, to simplify it intensely, is simply, that we say, hey, I'm going to show up for you like this, and I need you to show up for me like that. And a lot of the times, the way that people show up for us contractually is really triggering, and it's really hard. It's really hard for us to deal with. And, this is really complicated concepts, but I hope you guys are following. So if someone if the contract still has lessons to be learned, then there's always going to be this cycling round back to the same person, right? So and this could also mean that what is blocking you from really moving forward with this person is this unlearned lesson. And if you both were to learn it, then perhaps there could be a new beginning, is what I'm seeing. So let me flesh this out a little bit better, because it's a lot of imagery in my mind right now. It's sort of so if your person is showing up for you they never text you back, and it's really frustrating because they kind of treat you like your time doesn't matter to them, or that they take you for granted, they just assume that they'll always have a message from you every week, whatever. That kind of attitude is what I'm feeling. And it's really going to be the reason that they're in your life showing up for you like this is until you say, hey, actually, I deserve better. Like, I actually deserve someone who replies to me within a few days, or, you know, someone who will let me know if they can't communicate for a month or something. Not someone who's just gone. Because I think that that's really like what's blocking you from like being able to move on or move even forward with this person is this lesson around your self-worth and around the fact that you deserve more. And like, and it's sort of like until you realize like that they're showing up for you in this way, and even though it triggers the heck out of you and you go to rage and like, why does this have to be happening? There's also a part of you that believes at some level like maybe you deserve that, and that maybe you don't deserve better. And even a voice I'm hearing of, who am I to ask for more? So, you're so drawn to this person partially because they don't treat you very well, unfortunately. And that might be really brutal for some people to hear. And I apologize if that was a brutal delivery as well. Sometimes I just speak the truth and I forget, I forget how hard it is to hear. But this doesn't, like, the energy of this connection is like they're almost paralyzed to show up for you in that way until you demand something better from them. Okay? Is that resonating? Is that making sense? I really hope it is. So, we also had these two cards come out at the same time. Enchanted Forest and Hidden Path. Enchanted Forest talks about mystery, magic, and excitement, and Hidden Path talks about the marriage of spirit and matter. So I feel like there's dual messages here. The first message is like this person is still really mysterious to you, or it feels like a lot of unexplored territory either within your connection or like within this person's like world. You're kind of like, who is this person really? They're very intriguing to you. So that's the other reason why you're so drawn to them, which I'm sure you already knew, is because they're really mysterious and they excite you. And there may even be this element of there being magic in your connection, or some kind of like really just incredibly synchronistic events occurred to bring you two together. That sort of energy. And then the hidden path, the marriage of spirit and matter, to me that's saying like you or them are more spiritual and the other is more material. And that you both like offer each other this balance within your marriage, within your union, within your relationship connection, to really learn from the other. Like the opposite way of being. So if you're really spiritual, they teach you how to be more grounded and practical and actually enjoy our time here as human instead of just living in like the fifth dimension the whole time. And you help them to really like ascend and to realize there's so much more going on than just the third dimension world or realm. And it could be vice versa, of course, but the fact that you're watching this video kind of makes me think you're probably more on the spiritual side. But you never know. So yes, that's a very beautiful message. Okay, now I'm going to get into some tarot. And we'll just see what else is going on in this connection, okay? Oh my god. I've got so many cards. So we've got the Page of Wands. Excuse me. We have the Five of Wands. We have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Lovers. And we have the Eight of Swords. So this is saying to me like that there is a lot of excitement in your connection. There's a lot of like passion, sexual attraction, lust, and just a lot of fire energy. Like you might have a lot of fire in your chart, or like a fire moon or something, or a fire sign Venus. And basically it's really common in this connection for like that passion to kind of bubble over into this like volcano, and for things to erupt into sort of like arguments to some extent, or conflict, competition, projections of rage, that sort of stuff, like you did this to me, instead of seeing things sort of clearly. And there's so much duality in your connection, as in like you're kind of like perfect opposites or something, or like perfect for each other in a lot of ways. Because we have the Lovers and the Two of Pentacles, and like the Two of Pentacles to me is, it's kind of like a union of two sides, you know, and that's really what your connection feels like to me. It feels like, you know, it's like sun and moon energy, and they come together and they're whole, you know, not that you're not whole as you are, because you are, but, you know, we're relational beings, we're humans, we're not meant to just like live in a cave in isolation for like 100 years, you know, we're meant to be in relationship, and this is where we learn. So I'm seeing you guys learn a lot from each other, and at times it does bubble up into this conflict energy, but again, I'm reading that that's because there's so much passion between you both, and maybe sometimes there's a message that maybe sometimes, like, if you guys haven't like been intimate for a while, if you know what I mean, like bedroom intimate, then maybe that can turn into arguments, because there's like this unhashed out energy that kind of is needing to come through, if that makes sense. Alright, and then this Two of Pentacles is telling me someone needs to make a decision, and someone is making a decision. They're contemplating a decision right now. It might be you or them. However, they're really trapped in their mind. They're really trapped in their own thoughts and their own kind of like fears. And also they're trapped in low self-confidence or low self-worth. I feel like you both feel like the other person is too good for the other, or for you. Like, you know, you think they're too good for you and they think you're too good for them, which is, you know, interesting. And then, yeah, the Lovers. There's a lot of love between you guys, and passion. Again, it's balanced. There's the lust and the love aspect going on. So really I see like that it's really sort of, there's like almost this energy in your connection of it's almost waiting to be propelled forward. It's waiting for like there to be this big breakthrough. Yeah, and I think that really there's the first card, it really sums up your whole reading, like the resurfacing of past feelings and emotions. I think this stuff needs to come through. I think that this is really part of you moving forward or moving on in this connection, is like when some of these thoughts that are going on inside both of you guys' heads is more communicated and is more heard and listened to, because I'm picking up sometimes that, you know, a lot of conflict arises from both parties just not feeling heard in the connection. Like someone brings something up and then the other person reacts to it with anger, and then the other person feels even less heard and they react with anger, and then everyone's angry and no one feels heard. That's pretty much every argument, I guess. So, yeah, perhaps there's added strain because someone's not making a decision. Like maybe for some of you, I'm seeing that like this person's with someone right now, and you're kind of like wondering if you have a shot with them or not, and you're kind of, it has to be on their terms, like you don't have much power in the situation, like it's whether or not they'll come forward to you or not. So that's also maybe why you've got a lot of anxiety going on. But you guys, we have the Lovers, you know, we have the Lovers, and we even have this marriage card, the marriage of spirit and matter, which to me is like a very divine union. And we have this magic, mystery, excitement card. So it's like, the truth of your connection is one that is very passionate, one that's very exciting, and one that's almost magic or mysterious. You both feel like there's so much more to learn from each other, or know about each other, know about one another. Yeah, so these lessons, These lessons are coming through. Alright, so I'm going to do a few more, just to check in with like where they're at right now. Okay, so they're needing to be alone a bit more, or they're needing to have a little bit more like space just to kind of reconnect with themselves, I'm hearing. Like they got a little bit swept up in this connection, or they're trying to, like I said, make this decision, but they're not really sure what to do. I think that they're really in this recharging energy right now, where they got a bit burnt out either with you or in the connection, and they really needed some time to like recharge. And then we got bright future. So they see a future with you, they do. They see one with you, they're just not sure of how to get there. They're not sure of how to make that happen, and whether or not that's because of someone else in their life or someone else in your life, or their own stuff. Honestly, they've got their own stuff going on, and I think that it's probably a good idea that they are spending a bit of time alone, just so that these feelings can surface for them, so that they can, you know, get clear. Alright, that's the end of your reading. I hope that was a tricky connection to kind of try and decipher, I guess, is what I mean. It wasn't all easy there with my channeling, so I hope that, you know, it still made sense and everything. So thank you for watching, if you're still watching. I'm just going to get on with group 2 in a second. Okay, so who was group 2? We'll just hope it's this one. Group 2! I hope this is your crystal. For some reason I keep forgetting whose crystal is who when I do these readings. Alright, so I've got this tarot here. I'm going to channel to start off with. Why are you so drawn to this person? It's actually a very interesting question to be asking, as I've found. Oh, okay, you've probably got enough there. Oh no, I've got one more. Alright, so we got the 7 of Swords in reverse. We got the Ace of Pentacles. We got the 5 of Pentacles. We got the Ace of Cups. And we have the King of Cups. This person wants a new beginning with you. They feel like a bit down, or like they're being really hard on themselves recently because they don't feel like they know how to control their emotions around you. They feel like a bit like they keep just sort of like, they know that they're impacting you basically, and they feel really bad, and there's questions going around in their head like, am I even good for this person? Like, should I just keep my distance? That kind of is where they're at right now, and yet there's still this real big hope in them that a new beginning is possible between you two. There may be an earth and a water sign in this connection, but there may be a history of people not being completely honest, or I think this is from a while back though, and so maybe for some reason it's still impacting you or them. Maybe someone cheated, or someone wasn't fully transparent, and either that has come forward, or they're just like in their minds about it now because they kind of feel like they need to have told you by now. But they're not going to, unless you already know. Because this 7 of Swords in reverse is telling me that someone's lying to themselves as well. So I think that's maybe where they're at, and they're kind of just wanting to like push past any actual communication and just like start fresh with you. They want to like buy you a gift and like bring something to you as like an offering. However, they're not really in the place like at this very moment, and this could change very quickly, but then in this moment when I'm tuning into their energy, they don't want to have to talk about things. They don't want to have to sit down and be like, look, this is how I felt, this is how you felt. They're kind of like in this very like, let's just bypass that. Let's just go from start to finish right now, you know, because there's a lot of fear in them. There's a lot of anxiety around being inadequate, or in being inadequate, not being good enough. And they don't want to hear that from you. They feel really afraid that they're going to hear that from you. Um, it could also be like you don't feel like they spend enough time with you, or you don't feel like they make enough time for you, make enough space for you in their life. You don't feel like they like listen to your feelings or your concerns sometimes, and they kind of just like, I don't know, sometimes they really minimize your feelings or your experience, and that makes you feel really shitty. And I think like they maybe need to know that. And I know it's not an easy conversation to sort of have, especially if things are rocky. But I think there's like this real, you feel really drawn to this person because I think they're teaching you this lesson around you kind of having to be a bit more of an initiator, you know, having to be a bit more of an initiator in terms of relationship, but especially in terms of conversation. And maybe like this, almost this energy of like, if you want the truth, then you're going to have to get it out of them. So maybe like they're a Scorpio and you might be a Capricorn. For some reason, I'm feeling like you're an earth sign and they're a water sign, but take what resonates. And I think you're more based in reality in this sense, in terms of like, they're a little bit more like wanting to transcend reality, and you're a bit like, that's not really going to get us anywhere. Oh, so we have healing. What does it say? Reconnecting with your true nature. Ooh. And we have evolution, earth changes, climate change, transformation. And we have goddess of creation, transformation, creativity, and wholeness. Yeah, so this is really how they see you. Wow, we got 2 transformation cards. Yeah. There's definitely Scorpio energy in your connection. Even if neither one of you is a Scorpio, then maybe your composite astrological chart creates a Scorpio sun or moon, or perhaps you just like have a scorpionic energy between you both, you know. So there's a lot of transformation being offered to both of you in this connection if you guys can like not transcend the emotional landscape of it. Yeah? So I think that you are really there's this message that like you are more wise in this connection, and I rarely say something like so blunt, but it's more like you just understand like the reality of things better. It's really hard for me to articulate. You understand really what's really going on here, and they kind of like might gaslight you a bit and be like, no, that's not what's going on. So I think there's a real push from spirit to heal and to evolve and to change and to come into wholeness and to say, you know what, when I have a feeling, and that's me expressing myself. Like that's not an invitation for you to judge that or for you to have an opinion about that. Like that's an invitation for you to listen to me and respond, you know. So I think that's really what the change is that's being called for, and I think that you guys have so much potential for like a lot of happiness. I think there's already a lot of love between you. I just think sometimes things, like I said, get in the way of that being expressed or that being truly felt. But they really love you, and there's still a lot of like that new love energy between you guys as well, which I think is really going to carry you forward. Yeah, because there's a lot of healing, like that creativity as well is really important. There's a lot of healing between you guys, and this creativity is interesting because it's like, it's almost like this relationship or this connection is calling you to be creative in the way that you respond to it. Yeah? Alright, so I'm just going to do a couple of cards to finish up with. Maybe just like tune into this person's energy a bit, figure out what's going on for them. So we have blossoming, undying love, and start delegating. So they're waiting for you to take action, and they're really like in this transformation for themselves individually, and I see you there as well, and then I also see your relationship in this transformative phase. So be like aware that that's a very challenging place to be in that, you know, we're not here nor are we there yet, you know, we're in this in-between, this transition. But they're really focusing on the love between you guys right now. There's a lot of them just like reflecting on when you first got with this person, or reflecting on when they first met you or something. And they just really feel for you, and they really feel like, you know, this is not someone I can get over, or this is not someone that I'm just gonna be able to like move on from anytime soon. So that's probably why they really want this new connection. And, you know, now that I have this, it's really interesting because it's like they want this with you. They want this new connection with you. And yet they're just focusing on the love. Like they're just focusing on how good things could be again and how good things used to be. And then you're kind of pushed into this place of being forced into like having to think about, well, yeah, things were good, but then remember how we would argue like 90% of the time, for example. So you're kind of having to keep pushing that agenda, which you don't like. You don't like having to be that person who has to be like, yeah, well, that's not very realistic, you know. So it's a bit frustrating for you, but I think like they're not, like I said, they just want to transcend what has happened, or they want to transcend the past, or getting honest, or getting vulnerable, and just be like, look, we love each other, let's just do this. And in some ways, yeah, that's like really nice energy, but in other ways, like, it makes you have to do all the work in the connection, yeah? So there's also this message of like, they're blossoming right now, so are you. I think I already said that. Or, yeah, this is very similar to the transformation card. It's like you're both blossoming, you're both transforming, and yet the relationship is also in that transitional phase. And I think it's not until you both as individuals really start to solidify this blossoming, this flowering in your own lives, that the union will become a lot easier. Because this card says you are just getting started, so have patience with yourself and the process and do not give up. Yeah. I think that there's a lot more for you both to learn from each other in this connection, so if it resonates and feels right for you, then don't give up on them. You know, don't give up on them yet, because you haven't even, like, really, really tried with this communication stuff, or they haven't really, really tried yet. So you have to wait and see if they're gonna really get honest with you. And honesty can just mean vulnerability. Like, I don't want anyone to freak out that someone's been lying. Like, not necessarily at all, because this came out in reverse anyway. So even if they are lying, it might just be that they're lying to themselves. All right, thank you, group 2. I hope that reading was like was all right. It's strange. I feel like I didn't realize these readings were going to be so intense. Y'all's relationships are in disrepair right now. Oh my god. No, I can relate, to be honest. That's probably why I'm even doing this reading on a subconscious level, so I need to figure out what's going on in my connection. What the heck? Alright. So, just shuffling everything for group 3. I feel like I've already got group 3's reading now. Oh well, I'm going to shuffle again, because that was like half the deck. But I am getting good energy of them. Alright, group 3. This is your reading, honeys. I'm trying to like think. I'm going to start with the tarot. So why are you so drawn to this person, group 3? Ooh, because they're really attractive? That's why. I mean, there's a lot of romantic feelings between you. Maybe there's a lot of like flirting, or, you know, you can see how their like face lights up when you walk into the room, or you see how I'm feeling like maybe this is more of a crush phase between you guys. Oh, this is really good energy. We'll see what else comes. But, you know, there's good like cooperation or teamwork between you guys. Things are fairly cooperative, or like harmonious at this point in time, at least. Yeah, there's just a lot of like sexual attraction, but like also those sorts of like, you know, like butterflies in the tummy kind of feelings. And yes, you're really attracted to each other. Like they think you're really, 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 really good looking, really beautiful, really attractive, really like beautiful figure, and they just can't take their eyes off you. Like they're just pretty obsessed with you. They're thinking about you a lot. They want a future with you. They're just like not sure how to, I guess, maybe make this feeling between you more serious. Like, how do we make this more serious? Because right now it's just like really flirty and sexual, you know. Alright, I'm gonna do some oracle cards as well, and I'm gonna tune in with them now. Okay, well. So we have Sorceress, Guiding Children, and Divine Passion. Yeah. Oh, we have 4, and Independent. Okay. Yeah, so they're definitely really passionate about you, and you are as well for them. Again, I think that your connection is incredibly sexual, or there's a lot of sexual attraction there. There's a message around you, like, so they might have a child and you are really on board with that, or you're really supportive of their child, or you might have a child and they're really supportive of that, and that makes you feel really good, or that makes you feel kind of like, yeah, because you just feel really like, what's that word? Touched that they are so accepting or loving of you. Now, Spirit also has a message that this card says, you're a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. And to me, this is saying, like, you are able to take action here. Like, you can make this happen a little bit more than just this flirty situation if you want to, and if you want to kind of reach out to them, or like maybe Spirit's just saying you have more power here than you think. Like, you can make what you want to happen if that's what you want. You know what I mean? So yes, if you have a clear intention of like it's in a crush phase and you want to make it happen, then make it happen, girl. You know what I'm saying? You can do it. Guiding children, again, this could be, if neither party has children, this could simply mean inner child work. And maybe there's this playfulness between you. Definitely there's a playfulness between you where both of you feel like your inner children can come out and, you know, prance around and just have fun and explore. You know, there's it's sort of like a casual, maybe a casual, not casual, like, you know, like a really chill vibe, really like just relaxed, laid back, you know, not taking anything too seriously. Independent is interesting because I think that the message from Spirit is that you both get really carried away into your passion, into your desire, and that you need to remember not to like lose yourself in that, you know, because you know, you have a very rich life, and that's part of how attractive you are, and that's part of why this person thinks that you're an incredibly valuable human being, which they do. So it's like, don't forget about that aspect of who you are. Don't forget about your life and your identity, because I'm seeing this like romance aspect or this passion aspect is really, really heating up, and it's quite intense. And so it's really easy for you to kind of like spend all your time just thinking about them and fantasizing about them. And Spirit's just saying, like, don't forget about yourself and like your own life and your, you know, your friends and your family and your interests. You know, I'm seeing even maybe you get really swept up into what they're interested in, and you just want to like hang out with them, and, you know, whatever they're doing, you don't care as long as you can just hang out, which is really sweet. But I think, like, watch out, because I think they're gonna not do that for you. Does that make sense? Like, you know, you might be like, oh, I'll cancel my plans and we can, you know, hang out all weekend and stuff. But then, you know, maybe a situation happens down the line where you might then anticipate or expect them to cancel their plans and hang out with you, but they don't. And then you feel let down. So that's where this independence card comes in. It's like, make sure that you're still thinking about yourself and not expecting the other person to like lose themselves into you as well. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay, I'm going to do a couple more tarot cards. So let's tune into what's going on for your person now. we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Tower. So they're working really, really hard right now. They're just like really focused on career, and I think again they're in this independence energy that perhaps you are attracted to in them, but just to again remember like not to collapse yourself into a connection, to remain kind of your own person, which can be hard, especially when you get incredibly close with someone. But yeah, because we have the Tower card as well, so they are like definitely going through an incredible transformation right now, and whether you are a catalyst to that or not, that's where they're at. They are in some heavy feelings right now, and perhaps you act almost like a little reprieve from those feelings. So yeah, watch out for that, I guess, a little bit. For some of you, it's not for everyone, but just make sure that you're not kind of like their escape from their own life. You know, you want to make sure that they want you in their life as well. Yeah, they're going through a lot with this Tower energy. It's a lot of like things breaking down and needing to be rebuilt. And this can be like internally, you guys. It doesn't have to be massive events happening in our outer like reality. It can be internal Tower moments. So they're definitely with that. So perhaps again, that's another reason to remain independent, because they've got a lot of stuff going on in their life, and you know, you probably can't really be there for all of it. I'm feeling, you know, I think for some of them it's also around their family or some kind of family situation, or something to do with a child of theirs, or a child in their family, or a child in their life. Let's just finish with some more channeling with another deck. Just using lots of decks today. Yeah, let's just see. Oh. Okay, got one down here. Truth and integrity. And trust and new beginnings. Yeah, so they're going through a really major new beginning right now. And they really want that to involve you. They really think that you make them feel honest. You make them feel like they're in alignment with who they are, and that they feel seen for who they are, and they feel heard for who they are. They felt like they could instantly trust you. They didn't feel like there was anything like that you were hiding from them. They see you as someone who's very honest, transparent, innocent, pure of heart, loving, feminine, nurturing, nourishing, beautiful, abundant, stable, like grounded, and yet creative and free-flowing. Like, they really think the world of you guys, seriously. So trust that as well, you know. Yeah, and they really are in their truth and integrity right now, so definitely don't stress if you were confused, there were any questions, you know, while their life is in such turmoil, if there's stuff going on that you don't know about. They're being very honest with you, and they're very much in their integrity, so don't stress. I think there's a new beginning around the corner for you guys, and this could be just them, just you both getting together for the first time, you know. For a lot of you, I'm seeing that. For others of you, it's really like the new beginning with you is kind of like this reward after they've had to really restructure their life to sort of fit you almost, you know. Alright, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for watching. And yeah, being here today, I appreciate it. I hope that it was helpful for you on some level. And yeah, I think that's really all I have to say. Okay, bye.